Are we live?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Hi everyone. So DSC Amity is going to start its first event now, and for our first session we have Arpan Garg, who is he is the GDG New Delhi organizer, and he has been with the community for a very long time, and I've literally been mentored by him from the start. So Arpan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yep, absolutely. So thank you so much, Tejasvi and Aditya, for having me here, and congratulations for starting another phase of the DSC for Amity, because I guess we've had a long association. I've been there for a couple of talks as well, and for DevFest and so many events that we've done together. And for me, like an introduction, I guess professionally, I am right now full time doing Commudle, the platform that you've mentioned in my description, and we'll come to that. Apart from that, yes, I've done a lot of web development and product management for the past jobs that I've been into. And yes, communities, well, that's the favorite part of my life because it keeps me going a lot. The whole network and everything that's there, it's all about communities for me.
That sounds fantastic. And I mean, looking at I think you were as a product manager involved with Coding Ninjas earlier as well. And now, even with Google, with the Google Developer Group, with Commudle, I think wherever we go, you're always there providing mentorship, helping us get our lives sorted out. So it's always great to have you on to speak with you. And I think this will be a really good session for all of our audience members.
I hope so. I hope so. Fingers crossed. Yep.
Yeah, like even when I was in school, I started with my first GDG even when I was in 12th. And I remember Arpan was he was the organizer at that time as well. And we met for the first time. And before that, I really didn't know key communities and all really helped. But after like joining and everything, I got to know key communities play like a 50% part in getting to know and becoming a developer later. So he's been there taking web sessions a lot, and we've hosted a lot of events together as well. And it's been amazing with him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So, Arpan, would you like to tell about why communities are important and how you came into the GDG group?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, this actually very nostalgic since right now offline events are not happening and my whole session is about how they go about. But before that, specifically to answer the question, there was a time when I was just working alone as a developer. And probably this story I've iterated so many times, but still it is one of those special things. And at a startup, and there was like the only source of validation for me or interaction was those online forums and blogs, which was not bad. But at the end of the day, I did not know, being the only developer at my startup, that whether I'm going into the right path. Is it growth or not technically for me from whatever I'm building and learning? Yes, blogs do validate it and everything, but when you interact with real people who are working at different companies, you get to know how it works, how they are handling things. So we had actually hired two interns, and one of them was an organizer with GDG New Delhi, is still one, and he was interning with us. So at that point of time, they were discussing that next talk, what should be it be about, and where is it, and everything. I just overheard them. I was like, okay, I'll be there, whatever it is, and I just want to meet those techies. And morning of the event, I just went them, picked them up from the metro, and I was attending there. Although it was about Android, and I was more of a web developer, but you could see two college students, both of them who were the interns with us, teaching Firebase for Android to people who were tech leads, who were developers, far more experienced than those two people. And it was not a classroom setup. It was just a co-working space, an amazing one. And it was just an interaction which was fun. There was no hierarchy. Everyone was so equal, and just an interaction, someone teaching new technology and people learning. And I was amazed by that. And I guess since then, there hasn't been an event which I've skipped, be it for web development or for any other technology.
Oh, that sounds really cool.
Yeah. So you started like what, 5 years or 7 years, 8 years back?
No, it was in, I guess, I attended my first event somewhere during the end of 2015. And during that time, I guess 2 months after that, during December of 2015, I got a chance to speak with my first talk. That was in DevFest 2015. And it was at Google office in Gurgaon. So that was really special for me. And that feeling that, giving a hands-on code lab. And what happened was some people could not attend. So in the evening, they asked me to give that session again to the leftover people. So I was really, feeling elated that people liked the session.
Okay. That's awesome. 2015, wow, 5 years back.
Yeah, that was me just as a
Also,
volunteer or attendee wanting to give a talk and just attend. There was no thoughts in my mind that I want to manage this community or be in a role of high responsibility or anything. It was just an interaction sort of thing.
was there any particular reason for maybe moving towards Google's communities, or have you also been collaborating with other organizations like maybe .NET chapters and other C# Corner communities as well?
So yes, there is no specific reason. This was just that something that came by, and it was so much fun. I've been to one of the first events of even Facebook developer circles. I've been to a lot of events. We've collaborated with JS lovers. We constantly
Ah,
keep on
yeah.
doing that. There's a lot of communities we've collaborated with. There's Women Who Code Delhi. We've collaborated with them, and a lot more. So it's just that pretty soon, maybe 1.5 to 2 years later, I moved into the role of an organizer. But I keep on attending as and when I get time, like all the community events.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And right now we've seen how the GDG, GDG Cloud, and WTM New Delhi, they've been scaling.
Yeah.
And how has that experience been for you, from taking a community to that sort of a scale where you've got thousands of members actively working together, especially since the GDG New Delhi was the first chapter to organize an event simultaneously in 3 different locations. So
Yeah.
how,
I
Yeah.
how
remember.
has that journey been from
I mean,
scaling
like,
So
to the next
started with
level?
that, like the Google office, and now it's like everywhere, happening everywhere. We had 3 events last year
yeah.
happening simultaneously.
Yep. So I guess the first event that I organized as when I got into the role of an organizer was IO Extended for, I guess it was 2017. IO Extended 2017, or was it 18? It was 2018, I guess. Yes. And at that point of time, the only thought was I'd seen all these events happening, and they were really cool events. But there is this knack in my head. Probably sometimes my coworkers like it, and they sometimes get irritated that we need something new every time. So I was like, what different can we do this time? And I still remember when I proposed for doing the DevFest at different locations. It was, I guess, 2017 DevFest, and 2017 I extended prior to that. So 2017, I got the looks from my co-organizers that what are you trying to do, and how will we be able to pull it off? Because we had been usually doing this 100, maximum 150 people event with one location. But like all three of us are there, and we'll manage it. Don't worry, and I'll do whatever it takes for it. And then that was the first time that I was like a literal running call center for one whole week, and dealing with calls from the vendors who were sending in swags and everything, that they got stopped by police somewhere, or they were stuck at the border and it had not reached, or it had reached. So I was constantly on call till I was on stage, and it was fun. It was fun. At the end of the day, when you see those smiling faces when we do the group photo, it is all worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I
that's
remember I
definitely
attended.
something we've noticed from our experiences too in the past. Just that
Absolutely.
one final photo at the end where you've got 100, 200, 300 people together.
Yep.
It's a fantastic feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like we together have achieved something with all these people. So,
Yeah.
and it is very much
Yeah.
different from when you're going to school or college and you don't take a group photo every day. At the end of the day, okay, we completed this day, right? It is
Yeah.
more about, yes, we are doing sessions the whole day, but it is not like studying in an institution. We are learning for fun. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's like crazy. Last year they were like what 1,200 participants at DevFest, right?
yeah, they were close to 1,300. Yeah, somewhere between 1,200 and 1,300.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was a very big crowd, and you had given me the responsibility of conducting the AR VR event, right?
Yes.
Uh,
I remember
introduction.
There were multiple
talking previously
tracks.
about it. He said that I want to take up something of more responsibility, and I'm like, go ahead. What do you want to choose out of the bucket? That we have so many things, and that is the best part. The community is more like a happy playground where you've got almost nothing to lose,
Yeah,
and you can take up as many responsibilities as you want, and there are always people to back you up. You cannot fail alone or succeed alone. It is more about the team. So
That was actually last DevFest was a very interesting weekend because I think that was the weekend when I went for my first two community events. And so DevFest was a Sunday, I think. Saturday was the .NET Conf local event. So I'd been doing outbounds from Noida that weekend, and they were my first two community events. And I think had they not happened, I would never have gotten hooked to communities in general. So that was a really great weekend, and I remember because even at the .NET Conf event, we had folks like Dhananjay Kumar leading the show. Dhananjay Kumar, Sunny Sharma, we had those folks there. DevFest again, we had a lot of amazing community folks. We had GDEs, and we had a lot of team. I remember these couple of sessions, especially in the cloud track, because I'd been attending those. So I think one that I really remember was Satyadeep Kanati's
yes,
session on
yes,
DevOps.
yep.
And then after that, going over to, I mean, from cloud, then I later went over to Grow Your Career, where we had various DSC leads. We had Swati, we had Hunar, and I think a lot of that really got me more active in communities in general.
Nice,
So
super
that
nice.
was a fantastic experience. And I think those physical events had their own charm. This brings me to a really important question, especially in the current date. How has the transition been to a virtual format for you?
So I guess the size of the events have gotten smaller. It is similar to when we started with offline events. Initially, there was like, and again, this is also the story of Commudle or the way GDG New Delhi evolved. Was that initially when say 100 people used to register, normally we got somewhere between 30 to 40 people attending the event, and that is what happened for the longest of time, unless it was a flagship event like IO Extended or DevFest or anything, wherein 75 to 80% people used to show up. So I guess that is the phase for online events. Plus, we try to do very closed events in terms of a small audience. I mean, not more than 50 or last time, yes, we had an Android event with, luckily we had 75 plus people staying all along through the event for 3 hours. But mostly it is like 30 people to 50 people. And we try to do it as interactive, like hands-on things to be done, more and more activities so that the people do not get bored. But because we know that a huge majority of people who are part of it, and all of them being techies, are spending their time online, and we are actually trying to ask for that time, and it is quite difficult to just sit down and attend a session when you've already spent your whole day either attending classes or meetings.
yeah, yeah. It gets really difficult to do that. I remember you always used to start an event with some physical activity. Like you used to make us do drills, I guess, in one event.
Yeah,
I
there was
remember
a
we
lot.
did that
I
Amity
remember
also last time.
activity which was like grab the finger and everything. So
Yeah.
I think
It was a fun thing to do. Like you just get warmed up for the day in the beginning only. You're not. like so sad and sitting there, just like, yeah,
You could talk to people around, right? Even if you're getting bored by the person who's speaking, or if it is out of context for you, you could start chatting to the person next to you, unless the organizer says, "Baatein mat karo."
yeah.
नींद खुल जाती थी, that was for sure. I think classes के बाद moving into that sort of an activity was always very good.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a first question from the audience as well, whilst we've been having this nice little chat.
Yeah,
And
I
that,
see there is Aditya, there is Shubhangi, Yashraj is there.
yeah, Rishit has also joined in, and
Yes.
we're having some nice community folks come in right now. So it's always lovely to see that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have our first audience question as well. What do you think are some effective and creative ways to grow a community?
So, according to me, it's not just about events. Yes, it's a lot about meeting in person physically, but with today's condition, and still you see a lot of communities which just operate online. It's just about finding the like-minded people. So, for example, you're running a community on Discord, and you are finding the right people to join the group, and then there has to be someone who keeps on driving things. It can never be and again, this is my line of thought. Everyone can completely feel free to disagree. So it's more about finding someone, or maybe it is you, who's driving the community. The community will not automatically always keep on running. There has to be someone who has to be either the face of the community, or someone who keeps the interaction going. Otherwise, people just join and people would forget. Why would they remember? And even that applies to me or you. If I join somewhere and there's no activity going on over there, no one cares. And more so, whenever you're doing an event, which is like the common goal things, event, conference, meeting, whatever you call it, it has to be exclusive. Exclusive as in, keep it with a limited set of people initially. That what that will do is give you loyal members who value that you are doing quality events for them. With GDG New Delhi also, it has always been quality over quantity. Apart from DevFest, which we've been going big for the past 2 years or 3 years, I should say. Most of the events are at a very decent scale. It is nothing beyond 80 people or something. We try to put it very, very much limited, so that those people who are there, they are very much interested. And yes, while you are shortlisting people to attend, make sure you shortlist the right set of people. So that is what probably Commudle helped us, or initially when it was gdgnd.org, we shortlisted the people who were genuinely interested by filling those forms, having projects. For example, if it is an Android event, we would choose the right set of people.
Definitely, you have to see who's actually interested. And so suppose, I mean, even if it's 50, 60, 70 people, but you're able to actually add that value, and you're able to do that consistently, I think that really does I think that would really be a very, very good way to keep your community growing, because it's really that value at the end of the day which makes a difference.
Absolutely.
And yeah, consistency.
It is always there. I mean, the number does not matter at all. It depends on how many people are you willing to, or do you think you want to cater for the event and will benefit from it. Yes, there is always going to be infinite set of people, but the moment you open an event for everyone, unless you follow up with them very regularly, people might forget, because there's a lot of things online going around. This is not you meeting them in person. Like, the excitement of meeting that tech lead of a particular company or a developer of a particular technology goes a lot lower when you are just attending one-to-many talk, or maybe even online on a call, because people are mostly shy, sitting in their bed or holding their laptops, not turning on their camera. So that happens.
That's true. I mean, even in online events, I think the ones where it's the ones that have been most beneficial are really closed events at times, which, I mean, after once you've registered, you have a limited time. And then after that, you really make it interactive. You have that kind of a conversation with the speaker. I think that's what has the most amount of impact, rather than 100, a 200, 300 people session in which it's just a one-way conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. It has to be interactive. See, some of the part is played by the organizers, but during the talks, it is the speaker who holds the key to keeping people engaged.
No, that sounds really good. In fact, we'd also on our own end been working on that, and we've made the decision this time that since, I mean, over the last year, even when we had the community earlier, we'd been
Mhm.
using WhatsApp as our forum. This time we've changed that. We're moving to our own Discord. We've got that ready. So we'll actually be announcing that towards the end of the session, and we're keeping it open for everyone. So it's not a university specific, but at the same time, if we have folks from different communities who want to collaborate, we are
Mhm.
creating separate sections to cater for those as well, so that we can actually create a kind of an inclusive community there.
Super cool, super cool.
Yeah, last year, remember, it got very monotonous at the end. It was exciting in the beginning, but at the end, it got monotonous because people weren't attending and people were really interested to come and sit for an hour and
Mhm.
listen to a workshop or attend any workshop or something like that. So this time, we are probably going to try with school level. So I had an idea
Yeah,
that everyone
obviously.
is focusing on colleges.
Mhm.
So we are thinking that हम सब में ही we talk to our schools and सबसे बात करके we'll get those students 11 12 or
But
anyone
also, yeah,
any age interested in the communities.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think hands-on workshops always win. Even
Yeah,
you can start with, and I've been lucky enough to interact with a lot of community organizers across the world, and they have actually faced a lot of difficulties and started with as low as that they first invited, say they had 40 or 50 registrations for their event, and on the day of their first event, only 2 or 3 people showed up. But what happened was they got actually connected to those 2 or 3 people,
yeah,
because 2 or 3 people had took the
yeah,
complete benefit of that, having an organizer and a speaker completely interacting to them, and they then started coming back, and that is how the followers, and I would say not the followers, but the community and the set of family increased.
yeah, definitely.
yeah,
And I think what happens is that when you have just three, four also, but those
Mhm.
three, four are able to make a proper connect with what you want to talk about, the ideas that you have, and you share, you actually build up a common aim or a goal. So then they're no more just attendees. They are, well, it is a community in its own sense. And I think one line that when I'm going around, I often like to say is that no single person is bigger than the community.
Mhm.
So I think just moving along with that kind of an idea and a name, and that really helps build a lot of momentum, build a lot of ideas, and provide value.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right.
yeah. And I remember you were like telling me last year, I guess, about the computer platform.
Mhm.
And from there, I guess right now it's live, it's open to the
Yeah.
world, and anyone can use it. So, would you like to talk about it and how you came to
Yeah.
the idea of commuter?
Sure, sure, sure. Definitely, definitely. So I should probably open that slide as well, just for the
Yeah,
reference of it. Uh,
absolutely.
yeah. Okay. So what happened was, we were using initially just Google Forms for registration. And up to this story has like just embedded itself in me, because I've given so many demos of the platform. But it's more like, when we were using just Google Forms, a lot of people filled the form, and in regular events, as I said, 30 or 40 people used to show up, and that was fine, that was cool. But what happened was, we were actually wasting a lot of resources for us as well, and our expectation levels were only till that point, wherein we thought, okay, we will invite 100 people and then close the registration forms. 100 people, everyone who registers will be invited, but then only 30 used and 40 used to show up. Later on, we were really happy that we were being given a platform, meetup.com, for managing our GDGs. And this was basically having our own identity online, because GDG New Delhi exactly did not have a website. Some of the GDGs and communities did have it, and we mostly stayed like, okay, we'll make it at some point of time. We had just a basic web page probably. And then came in meetup.com. So we were really happy. All our events will be listed and everything. We used it for a couple of events. The problem that arose was exactly similar. that you could just RSVP yes and not show up. There was no confirmation given from our side that you are actually going to come over, or from your side or anything. So we switched over to another registration point, basically process, which was we rolled out registration forms, Google Forms, and people who registered, we matched their profiles with the talks that were going to happen, sent them another form, which was the RSVP form, which had yes or no. If they said yes, then we sent them another email, which was saying that this is your unique entry pass. Now, publicly announcing it was not unique, but we said that this is your unique entry pass. And we very politely mentioned, if you do not show up, it might be very difficult for us to invite you to the
I
next
think someone from the audience is saying that your volume might be a little low. Could you just check that once?
I guess it is fine. Let me just look at
All right,
the.
Jaydeep, in that case, I think if someone's having an issue, they could just check their net connection once as well. I think even for me, the voice has been all right, to be honest.
It's fine.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. And I guess there were a couple of questions piling up. We'll take it soon, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was happening was basically this 3-step process. From the first event onwards, we had again taking the random number 100. We had 90 plus attendees, and this continued for over a year or year and a half. And we were really happy that the specific people that we invited showed up for the next event. And it also made our image amongst our community members that we are very organized. And our growth from that 700 set of people on Meetup, or 300, I guess, I don't remember exactly, to the first 1,000 set of thousands, I would say 3,500 or something, was very fast in that 1 year, 1.5 years for people who had attended physical events. Now, it was all going good. The only thing was these things were redundant. Every time you create some forms, every time you create some email, and then we used to have some mistakes that were going on. You copied the mail, you had to copy the address, you probably forgot to copy the address, then you sent correction mails. Happened just once or twice, but this was all redundant. In the midst of all this, I got a very good chance to attend Google I/O in 2018. Amazing experience. Got to interact with global community leaders. So just the day before I/O, there is an event which is the Global Community Summit, and all the community leaders, GDG leaders, the selected ones from across the world, are invited to it. So I interacted personally one-on-one with a lot of them, and discussed on how they were solving their problem across communities and everything. And we just realized, and even from the DevRel team, Indian and outside of India, we realized that all of us were kind of facing the similar set of problems in terms of registrations and how to manage things. And everyone was doing similar kind of solutions, someone using multiple forms, someone using emails to follow up things, but no one having a common platform for it. Came back, we had planned that we'll be doing DevFest at 3 locations or something at that point of time. No, this was 2018 actually. We were planning a DevFest with around 500 people at a single location. Our first at a hotel or something. So for the next 4 months, I guess I was just coding Commudle, which was at that point of time called gdgnd.org. Just to take you through the hardships, not very hardships, but it was more like my car was stranded in my parking for the next 4 months. I used to get up early morning, code a new feature, deploy it in the metro. Coming back, I used to just chart down the next set of things that I'll code. And this continued on for the next 4 months, 3 to 4 months, when till I deployed it. And in DevFest, there were not 500, but 700 people. That was basically more than 90% turn up ratio. We always have a lot of uninvited folks. We are always welcome to them. So welcoming them, and it all went smoothly. We registered them, we marked their attendance. There was an interface for volunteers. Everything was there, and the best feeling was at the end of the event, we were standing on the stage in the team, and I just clicked one button. I said, feedback emails will be in your pockets, and once you fill those feedback forms, only then will you get the swags. So that's so And then we did that huge wave thing that we always do, and post that for the next 1 year. Since then, from 2018 to 2019, it started developing slowly and slowly, and from 2019 to 2020, like the development has been faster. So initially it was a side project. Very initially it was just a registration platform. Now it has a lot of things, from saving all those talks that you give at as a speaker in terms of slides, putting them online, so that this thing that the speaker has prepared, instead of searching for it on LinkedIn, Twitter, or maybe Medium or anything else, you can all find it at a single place as a community's own repository. There is like simple registration, there is multiple registration forms, there is sponsors, community collaborations, and obviously there is two new features that I've recently worked on, which are labs and builds, wherein you can create your own tutorials, or if you're building something amazing, you can share across with the community. So it's been there. Right now, I guess the number is somewhere around 85 communities and 20,000 users, 21,000. I just looked at it yesterday. So
Wow.
that's there. Now, 3 months ago, I decided finally. For a long time, I'd been thinking that, I want to work on something of my own. And I finally decided, okay, that lockdown is going to give me enough opportunity forcefully to stay at home. I cannot travel anywhere, and office or anything. So I finally moved on from my job and have been working full time on this, just to make it suitable enough for the organizers of the communities across the world, specifically tech communities, because tech communities are spread across multiple platforms right now. And I sincerely feel that it should be at one place.
Wow, that's really awesome. And Commudle, like I remember my first event, the DevFest event, the 2018 one. They got the unique entry passes thing, and there were a lot of kids who had just shown up, and they were planning to
DevFest 19.
What?
I think we had the QR code entry at DevFest 19, right?
Yeah,
Which
in
apparently was
2019 we created this QR code scanner also. In 2018, we just had that number you had to feed in.
Yeah,
And I remember it was talked about because it was created maybe a day or so before the event actually began, the QR code.
So I was really, freaked out. We had 4,000 plus registrations, and DevFest is one of those events. In the morning, you are thinking, you're praying, and the night before that, people should show up, because we have done a lot of preparation. And it is like every other event, you think that people should show up, would people come or not?
Yeah.
And once people start showing up at that point of time, you are more about, okay, let it put a stop. This is enough people. So because obviously there's a lot of financials involved, and you have a limited space, and you do not want anyone to return unhappy. So it's like, okay, now I am overwhelmed. And both the DevFests have been like, somehow I never got to eat all those delicacies, none of it during the whole event. It was like, that Mannat wala fast, okay, event goes fine. Nothing like that I did it intentionally. But I was constantly rotating around the tracks, just like with everyone in the team, and asking, okay, everything good, everything good, everything good. And in the festival, I think I was like totally bonkers. I was like meeting everyone on the stairs, and all good, all good, all good, and I don't know.
Yeah, I remember, like, you never used to eat. We last year we were in the volunteering team and organizing team, and you used to come to us and tell us that go and have your lunch, but you never used to come with us, and like you never really had lunch with us.
Yeah, I guess for that दाने दाने पे खाने वाला नाम नहीं लिखा होगा. I missed it, and in 2019 I saw the pictures of gulab jamun and the paneer and everything. I was like, dude.
It's so funny. We were having this exact same chat with another person yesterday, with Sam Julian from Otho, about how community events में खाना रह जाता है, बाकी सब मिलते मिलते हो जाते हैं.
हाँ यार, absolutely.
No, but I
think part is looking at the photos afterwards.
Absolutely. I think this is something जो हर event organizer बोल सकता है, खाना नहीं खाया event पे.
हाँ, मतलब वो वैसा होता है कि you're organizing it, so you are like बस ये event ढंग से हो जाए, and that food.
कि खा ले, हमारा तो जो होगा देखा जाएगा.
Yeah. And last year, we were there the last night and the last week, I guess, at the hotel, organizing everything. I came on the last day and I went around 10 o'clock and you were there till like 2, 3 at night. And then you had to come back.
Exactly. I guess that was a month wherein for the past month and a half, पहली बात तो every time it happened for both the Deaf Fests that we could not get the location in time. So even this hotel, Westin, was finalized around 15 to 18 days before. Luckily, we got it. And even before that, when we did it at Radisson, luckily we got it, I should say, through some contacts and everything. And I've now learned to bargain. So if anyone is doing an event at a hotel, so now what happened was that for 2019 one, the latest one, we were like mostly I used to sleep at 2 a.m. or something and get up at 6 or 7 a.m. and it was mostly like that because we were having such a large team, 140 people were there in the team, excluding the organizers, the 5 organizers that were there. So, and we were just trying to ensure that no one becomes the manager. Everyone has to be equals. It is a zero hierarchy team. It's more of a network rather than a tree. There were nodes, yes, everyone was managing their own part, but no one was reporting to anyone. And probably that went well because then people take up ownership instead of, that is the manager, go speak to him. That did not have to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing.
Hierarchies are effective.
Yeah, like hierarchies. Aditya, saying something?
Yeah, I was saying that essentially when you have a totally flat hierarchy where everyone's at the same level, you are the boss essentially. No one else, I mean, no one's your boss. You are always the boss of what you're doing.
Their own boss. Like if you
exactly.
You can go and ask anyone else. Yes, obviously, different things, different places would need hierarchy or no hierarchy.
Yeah.
But this was a community, and we had to make sure that there is no root node or anything. Everyone is like equal.
I remember
one of the best things, compliments that was there was when Biswajit came in and we met, and I took him to the registration desk to get the wristband, and the person sitting on the wristband, "Kaun hai ye? Why should I give him the wristband?" As he registered, told me your entry pass, and then later on, I was like, "Okay, he's the one who has got us this hotel."
Oh wow!
Then he got the wristband and tried to enter the machine learning track. He was not given an entry. "Sir, this is full. Go." I mean, politely. But he was not given an entry, so he was very happy that it was well managed and everything.
No, I think that's really good in its own way. That I mean, that way you're treating everyone in the audience equally. I think that creates a good kind of an environment as well, where it's all very fair.
Yeah.
And for the first time, design track had the longest of line, I guess.
Oh yeah.
People were waiting in line just to attend those sessions.
Jagriti was taking one session. I remember, and it had a big line.
Yep.
That's true. Design track, I remember I thought I'd come in at some time and I couldn't get in at all. It was that fatal.
And I remember that, I'm sure with so many people around, that whole corner was given to us, the ground floor and the first floor. The whole hotel might have been buzzing with sounds, and they should have been getting calls on the reception.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Biswajit, like for anyone who doesn't know, Biswajit actually he's the program manager of DSCs all over India, right?
Yeah, he's the DevRel India regional lead.
Yeah, like I met him for the first time last year, and I thought he would be a high-end type of guy, but he was like so cordial and like so friendly.
Everyone is, I guess. They are the ones who have created the communities from the very root, so they are very supportive.
Yeah, and yes, the same thing that I faced in the college also, that our teachers are our mentors. They always wanted hierarchy in the clubs, and I never really liked that. President बनाने किसको vice president. That's like no use at all. So like in the same thing that I am following is like if I am a DSC lead, everyone is a lead. So one is a tech lead, one is a content lead. So everyone is same. Like,
absolutely.
There's no hierarchy. Like there's no need for it.
Absolutely, man. It's just like everyone has different set of responsibilities, and they are their own lead. They should not be told what to do. It's just that they can always ask and reach back for help, and feedbacks should always be welcome.
Yeah. Aditya, there were some questions from the audience.
Yeah.
I think we can.
We did. Yeah, we did. Let me just scroll up once. Yeah, in the midst, I saw we've been having some really amazing community folks from student communities come in as well. So we had Ali Mustafa Sheikh, Rishit Dagli over from the Mumbai communities. We had Shubhangi join in, and it's great to see everyone come in and just join us for a bit. We really appreciate that. So thanks a lot for joining in.
Yeah.
Now, if we go up towards the questions, we had one asking about Hacktoberfest. We'll get to that towards the end of the session. That's actually something we are planning. So we'll talk about that later. Next offline event, we'll have to wait till the pandemic really comes to a stop, at least for a while.
And this is happening online, everyone. So, I mean, I know it's sad.
DevFest India.
And go ahead and just, even if you search for DevFest India on Google, you'll find it.
No, this is a nice one. Yeah, so I think one that came in between is that for an absolute beginner, what would be the best way to get started in communities?
Okay, so I would say reach out to the organizers during an event or when you start attending an event. Find out a set of communities which you like, or maybe just find out a set of events that are happening. And right now, because online, you can always look out for more than just your city, but preferably your city also. Why? Because maybe tomorrow when
begins,
you want to meet in person or anything, that would be great, but don't limit yourself to that at all. And talk to their organizers also. What is the community about? And a lot of times you will receive an answer, a lot of times you won't. It's more about just getting that network, but you should begin by attending those events. So as to get a feel of whether this community is relevant to you. A lot of times communities are just about professionals. A lot of times communities are just about beginners. And for example, GDG is all having all the things, but a lot of times communities are just about experts and or a particular category of expertise. So just start attending those events. Network with the people who are attending those events. You will find people from all walks of life, professional life, attending those events. Try to reach out to them. Do not shy away. For example, if it's happening on a Zoom call, you'll always get a chance to message someone personally. And you should do that. Do not feel shy. What will happen in the worst case? They won't reply, right? That's fine. Their choice. You at least ping. And similarly, reach out to the organizers that how can I help you with the community next time? And there is nothing like becoming a member of a community or anything. It's more about attending events. It's not like you'll be a member of DSC or you'll be a member of GDG or anything. There is nothing like it. These are not, unless some particular community is. Mostly we are not professionally registered or private limited or something, not for profit organization. We are open to everyone. So you can just go ahead, start attending events, whichever you like, whichever you want to, and get in touch with organizers on how to participate more. Maybe you could get a slot for 5 minutes, 2 minutes or 3 minutes for a flash talk next time. That will help you build confidence because an organizer would not hesitate from giving you 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes in between, even if you are not good at public speaking. And obviously you should practice your best. But the journey has to change in terms of roles. I began with just attending it. Then I was more or so volunteering it with different events. In between, I got a chance to give a talk. I liked that I could share, learn something new and then share. That gave me a motive also to learn something which is unexplored. And then when you are giving talks and everything, more and more people connect with you, and vice versa. When you're sitting on the other side, you can connect with the speaker, with the other people who are there, and make sure you make the most use of networking session. If an event you are attending does not have networking time, push for it. Ask the organizer, how will you do networking? And if not, then can I plan one networking session? So try to do
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that those are some really great points. And one thing that I really wanted to point out is how I think sometimes after you've got a little bit of experience, some people are not always interested in maybe volunteering or helping out. And
Mhm.
I really just want to add that it's always great to help out, at least in these kind of events, because even as a volunteer, you end up meeting a lot of people. And it's
Absolutely.
very interesting because even if I talk about my personal experiences, Tejasvi and I, we were there in the volunteering team at NG India. And we
Mhm.
met with a few speakers later on. And I remember because even when we shifted to virtual, we had the NG Girls India wide event for the first time.
Mhm.
So the co-leads for that event, two of them were speakers at that particular event. So
Okay.
it's very interesting how really just volunteering and attending, meeting, chatting with people can take you to a lot of different places. And every
Absolutely.
single time you go meet with people, you learn a lot.
Yeah,
They've
yeah,
got
yeah.
Yeah.
experiences you haven't, and
You
at the
know, the
same
best
time, you've got
community
experiences
leaders
they
will be
have.
the
Yeah.
most humble ones. You will see them volunteering just like that for another event and leading some other event. So and we'll really enjoy meeting them, learning from their experiences. I've met a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't just like attend the event or you want to do the work. You're actually learning a lot of
Yeah.
organizing and how you need to participate with each other and collaborate with each other to get on an event or something like
Absolutely.
that. So it really helps. It really helped me to gain confidence while hosting an event or doing anything in my college because of this. So the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So, any ending notes, Arpan? This was a really good session. And do you
We,
have
we
any
actually have a
pointers?
question on Commudle. We actually do have a question on Commudle. What was the biggest challenge you faced when you started out with Commudle? I think just
Uh,
before we end.
yeah, I guess the biggest challenge was um, just before DevFest, it was like, will it work or not? But when I was coding, it was more like, you have always, and even till today, when I'm working on it full time, um, you have this challenge in your head: is this useful enough or not? Because me as a community organizer and we as a community at GDG are using it constantly, and but on the other side, how useful it is for more than us, for people more than us, because I am kind of now right now developing it more and more. So is it the right path as the product? And in the beginning stages, it was more like I had actually, so this is something that a lot of times helps, a lot of, sometimes it does backfire if you're not able to commit it. But I had committed actually to my team. I was constantly talking about it, that I'm building this platform, that I'm building this platform. Do not do anything about a DevFest right now, registrations or anything. You do not need to create any forms or anything. We will use a new platform that I'm going to create. And I wasn't even sure whether I'll be able to complete it in time. There were a lot of nights and days which went into it apart from my office time. And finally I completed it. I tested it in an event, small event, just for registrations. Some things came up as issues and we fixed it, but it is more like, the question was whether it will be completed or not, and in time, and whether I'll be able to make it or not. So that was majorly the challenge. Apart from that, I guess it's more like, this feature is useful or not, this feature is useful or not. That's the thing.
Okay.
That's definitely
Congratulations
that's a
that
great.
you
Yeah.
finally completed it.
And I'm just checking the Commudal site right now with all the different communities, and I can definitely say it does have a lot of use for a lot of communities right now. I mean, it's fantastic the way it's growing. So yeah, kudos to you for that. It's
Thank you so
really a
much.
great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were really going to host this event there as well, but because of the time issues, we didn't really have much, and we weren't able to do it. But next time, like I'm going to promote Commudle, and I'm going to
Oh, we
use
have
it.
live
Absolutely.
polls also, so you could have done a lot of live polling and Q&A over there.
Ooh,
I'm a sales
good
guy these
stuff.
days,
Good
so
stuff
you'll
for the
always see
future.
me appreciated.
All right. I think we can say that we have something to look forward to in the coming days. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is a great event, Arpan. Thanks a lot for sharing your ideas and the way communities are important. I mean, I've been like looking forward to this event for a really long time, and I really didn't get the time to get you on a call. Or like you were also building Commudle, and you were quite busy. But thank you so much for giving us the time to DSC Amity.
Anytime, man. I mean, all the help that we've received always from you and your team and everyone across at DSC Amity. I guess that is what community is all about, and always love to interact with everyone in the community. So yeah, thank you so much for having me around.
Yeah, we'll quickly take a good group picture.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Which pose do you want to do?
Oh, these days we are doing dab.
Dab? Okay, let's do that. Aditya, we're going to take this feature.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Arpan. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. All the best.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, for anyone who is staying, we just have one quick overview of DSC Amity, and we'll just quickly give it and tell you how we're going to help you later. Aditya, can you share my screen?
I haven't actually received the...
Just a second.
Yeah, just share it once again.
Yeah, is it live?
Yeah.
Awesome. So so Developer Students Club started in Amity last year, and it was there before, but it went out because people started losing touch. So DSC is an initiative started by Google Developers Group, and it basically is for all the college students and people around the communities. So it started in 2017. And it was really small at that time. I guess we had around 600 DSCs throughout the world. And from there, it has now grown to over 1,000 DSCs. And we, the main motive of making DSC was to get students from college background or school background into the community and to learn with each other. Aditya is also part of the Microsoft Student Lead Ambassador, and he could share his ideas on communities and how he has helped. Aditya, you want to take this?
Sorry, I think for me the sound is cracked up. Could you just repeat it once?
Yeah, I was saying like communities and all, you have been there for quite some time. So do you want to talk about a bit your experience and everything?
All right. Yeah. Definitely. So I've been active with various tech communities primarily through the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador program, which was earlier called Microsoft Student Partner. And I think for me personally, everything good that's been coming in my career till date is through some or the other community. Whether I talk about C# Corners content, since I work on Xamarin and Azure, whether I talk about Angular communities. I've just started off with web development, so having mentors from those places. I've been active with ProGate, so ProGate's been doing a lot for absolute beginners in tech. I think so just taking all of these different communities, anything that's good that's been happening for me personally is through communities. Communities have allowed me to meet different people from different locations. I mean, keeping just the country aside, even in this pandemic with things shifting to a virtual format, we've been working with folks from all over the world. We've been collaborating with people from different countries, from different continents, and it's really been fantastic all of this while. And even if you look at this right now, we've got really great people interacting in the chats. If we take Ravi Goswami, Shubhangi, Ganesh, Rishit, anyone, all of these people, they've been working actively in some of the other community, and I've learned so much from all of these folks. So it's really been amazing. Yeah.
So like communities, as the line says, it's a community for students by students. So DSC is all about student volunteers who wants to lead a team or who wants to make a dent in the community world. So the line completely states connect, build, and grow. So DSC is all about that. Make connections, build a product, and grow together. That's all Developer Student Club is. And we have actually been training a lot of student developers all around the world, not only in college level, but also at the school level. And we have also had events worldwide, and we've seen some really awesome products being produced by students. So the two things that we mainly do is workshops or build projects. So workshops are basically like a hands-on training session. So if I can take a workshop on web development, I'll basically just show you how to create a website within a 1 hour using Angular or any Google product. And workshops are really helpful because they teach you side by side, and you can ask your doubts with the speaker as well. And they really help give you a push that you need to get into any technology. Projects is something that we as DSCs can really do. So if I am a part of DSC Amity, anyone of the DSCs all around the world can contact me or can approach me. And if we have an idea, we can work or we can build a project together. And what it does is it helps give insight from your perspective and from a different perspective of someone who is not in your geographical location. And that really helps a lot in giving you guidance and ideas. And now so this year, we have around 278 DSC leads in India, and worldwide we have 1,000 plus. I'm very sure it was around, last I checked, it was around 1,300 or 1,400. And we are expanding every year. And if anyone wants to be a part of DSC, you can just contact us. We have a group, we have a WhatsApp group, we have our Discord
We
group.
have a Discord primarily, which we're shifting to for the first time this year. And yeah, so I put up the banner here as well. You can definitely check this link out, and we'll be in touch through this. And also for the first time, for our college, at least for DSC Amity, we've made it open for all folks from all across. So it doesn't matter if you're from Amity or not, we've got place in our Discord. In addition to that, if you're active with another community, with another company or an organization, we can definitely set up a community specific channel in case people want to get in touch with you because of that as well. So do check out the Discord, and if you're active with another community, just ping me and we'll set it up for you.
Yeah. And just to show you the team, you can contact any of us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, anywhere. And this is the main organizing team. And you can anytime reach out to us, and we'll help you with any project idea that you have or any workshop that you want. This is the Discord link if anyone wants to look at it. And with that, I'll just end this.
Yeah, with that, we're done with the content from our side. Now, in addition to that, based on some of the queries that we had, we will be running a special one-day Hacktoberfest activity in the month of October. The date for that will be the October 10th, and we'll be announcing that very shortly. So we will have a session on building your first website, code collaboration with GitHub. We'll also do a kind of a project showcase and have various community engagement and building sessions. So do make sure you join us for that. And we're making sure that we're doing it on a weekend so that it doesn't clash with anyone's classes. So,
and don't worry, the events are going to be as interactive as we can make it since it's online. But we'll try to make it as much interactive and as much you'll be able to gain a lot of knowledge through these half an hour or 1 hour sessions.
And we'll also try to make sure that with every session, it shouldn't happen that with one section you're learning in a certain topic it should just stop. And if you want to continue, we'll ensure that we keep creating opportunities for that as well. If someone is interested in volunteering or helping out with the club, just join our Discord. We'll be talking more about that there. We'll release a form for that as well in case someone wants to volunteer and help out with the club. So just join the Discord and wait for our announcements to come in.
So I guess with that, we are done. And it was great, everyone who joined in. Thank you so much. It was the first event, and I guess we got a decent crowd.
We had a nice time.
Yeah, all thanks to.
Let's just do last call for queries, maybe.
Yeah, sure. If you have any questions or anything, you can just type it in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, even if you have any queries, or if you don't have any, that's also all right. If you do and you want to talk about it maybe personally or privately, just join the Discord and you can ping any of us from there.
Yeah.
How can join? All right, I'll just put the link up once again. So you can just check out the link here and join the Discord from this link.
Yeah. And
You'll be directed to a specific channel here to start, and you'll have to just go through those details once. And once you do that, you will get access to all the different channels within the community.
Yeah. Okay, I guess Ayushi has put the link in the chat as well. So that would be awesome. Anyone can join it.
We have a lot of love coming in for you, Tejasvi.
Yeah, Shantanu. For anyone who doesn't know Shantanu, he's a YouTuber. And you can definitely follow this guy. And he has a lot of amazing content.
He has amazing content. He's got his silver button. So yes, anyone wants to learn about video editing, working with images, graphic design, he's the go-to.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I guess Aditya, we're done.
Absolutely. All right. So we can end the broadcast then. Thanks a lot to everyone for joining in, and we hope to see you all in the Discord. All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.